My manager was hostile towards me and rude when I put in my 2 weeks, so I quit on the spot instead. This was a minimum wage job that I was doing until a relevant career opportunity came around, which is exactly why I was putting in my 2 weeks. I was just going to finish out all of my scheduled shifts as a courtesy, but never mind. Peace. 2 weeks notice is already a courtesy they don't offer you when you're fired or laid off. In general, this should be considered less of an obligation culturally. The mental disconnect these managers have about at-will employment. They'll lay off people without notice and don't think twice about it. But when someone quits, it's suddenly unprofessional, and how is like abandoning your family. Bravo. You were being kind. If they can't accept it, fuck 'em. That's exactly how you should have responded. The last job that I left was with 3 weeks' notice, written formally, and hand-delivered to the company owner on a Mo-Day morning. He immediately canceled my morning and asked for a brunch meeting including the service manager, an install manager. I was stressed heading to the restaurant, but it was unwarranted. He just wanted to know what could have been different to have retained me. He was respectful and listened. I spent the entire 3 weeks working without the black cloud hanging above my head. After the 3 weeks, he asked if I could temporarily stay on part-time to cover urgent calls only, until the replacement tech arrived. I was part-time for 2 months. Now, as a contractor myself, that company employs me often when they have too much work. Respect goes 2 ways. Your boss gave you no respect. You don't owe him any at all. You're not supposed to be able to support yourself in these minimum wage jobs. They are just a stepping stone to a better job. Finds a better job. Wait, not like that. I put in a 1-week notice. I already had another entry-level job lined up, and the job I had at the time was ass. Manager was kinda on my ass about it the whole day. So eventually I had enough and was like, never mind. My last day is today, and clocked out. Holy fuck, was that cathartic. I did the same. I put in my 2 weeks because I didn't like the tracking app that was being rolled out at the restaurant I delivered for. I have some bad history about being tracked growing up. Found a GPS tracker on my car once. I explained this when I put in my 2 weeks because I felt the need to justify my actions. I went out on a delivery and came back to my boyfriend, a fellow driver, quitting. My bastard manager had started bad-mouthing me and joking about my trauma to another driver when my boyfriend walked back into the store. My boyfriend and I quit on the spot. He was down to 1 driver and I was the only closer to. Worked for a high-tech company and had a manager who made Cruella de Vil look like an angel. I was offered a job at an aerospace company with more pay and responsibilities. When I gave her my resignation and 2 weeks' notice, she sneered that professional courtesy demanded I stay until a replacement was hired and trained. I responded with, had you treated me as a professional, I would have given you the courtesy. And then proceeded to walk out. Best 2-week vacation of my life. And that's how it's done, rock. Pragmatically speaking, the only reason to give 2 weeks notice at all is so that they don't give you a bad reference. But it looks like they were going to give you a bad reference anyway. So why bother? Similar to how I quit my last job. I worked in telecommunications. I was having a stressful day. And management usually lets the newer people go home early when they're having a hard time. I was a bit under a year, I think. Either way, I said I wasn't sure if I wanted to continue to work here. But I wanted time to consider it. It was Friday, and I worked the next day as well. He said that either I did or didn't and denied my request. So I told them I quit on the spot. I signed my papers and walked out. He asked if I had anything else. And I told him it didn't matter. I went to a factory job and am paid significantly better now and have much greater job satisfaction. Fuck APAC in Eldridge. Yeah. At my last job, the last several people to give their 2 weeks notice were walked out immediately. So, knowing this was bound to happen to me when I quit for a new job and didn't want to be stuck 2 weeks with no job, I gave them my notice the day of. My manager told me I would be ineligible for rehire for failing to give proper notice. I just laughed, since I was leaving the job because it was miserable and would never go back. You owe them nothing. Good for you. This story is all too common. I'm sorry, but if you're working at a minimum wage job, there's absolutely no reason to put in 2 weeks. You don't have to worry about burning bridges at a place like this. You're not going to get blacklisted anywhere. You gain nothing. Just ghost the fuckers. No. You are supposed to stay at this irrelevant minimum wage job. Fuck this other job related to your longer-term career goals that probably pays more. I can't believe you aren't even thinking about the team. This team is a family at Walmart. 1. I just quit from a place where my manager was chucking receipt paper in my face and calling me stupid. I'm so absolutely sick of these trash jobs. I had a friend in college who went to give their 2 weeks at a crap minimum wage job and they said, "Well, we didn't have you on the schedule for the next 2 weeks so you can just leave now," which was utter BS because he worked like 16 hours every week lol. Those jobs aren't entitled to shit. They would drop you in a heartbeat, so there's no reason to convenience them by providing a notice. I did the same, but I was too ashamed to admit it and told everyone I was fired. This was like 8 years ago. Union had me working 2 days later. We should normalize this. The 2-week thing as a professional courtesy. If you hate that job and they are terrible to you, quit on the spot. They need to earn the professional courtesy. It's not a right. I bet that felt good. Well done.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.